Hello, everybody. This is me again, wanting to tune in, and hopefully there will be someone tuning in with me also. If I sound a bit nasal, it's because I think I've got a hay fever attack, so I apologize for that. You'll be hearing some music in the background, perhaps. And that's music I've chosen because I wanted to create a particular feel for today, and I wanted to merge some energies. So this is the megahertz that operate with the feminine and the masculine energy. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about words. And we're going to talk about words that serve us as tools, as building blocks. We're going to look at it from a mystical level. And this is a part of the series that I've started going from public to private, because we are now at home, many of us, as opposed to before, when we were running around outside, being busy and being very, very important to ourselves in our business, because that's how everything would come together, and this is how we've been taught that we serve a purpose. So now, when we are no longer outside our homes and our routines, where we would understand that this is how we serve a purpose, we have now been confined to our homes, wondering about our purpose and where we go from here. And wording in this context is actually an enormous, powerful tool, and not something that we should be taking so lightly. Over the years, we've seen heated debates on many various different fronts, where something would pop up, or one particular subject would pop up constantly, and that's the freedom of speech. This is very interesting because it's a troublesome subject. Not troublesome in the way that we need freedom of speech. This is vital. But because it's also a very fragile situation or constitution in itself. Can it stand on its own? This is the question. Can you say, speak whatever you like without consequence? And freedom of speech will say yes, because if it doesn't, then we have fascism. Then we have policing, we have controlling factors in our lives that start violating our freedom and our expression in life. And this is, of course, unacceptable. On the other hand, words change and build and create, even bad words. So in our process now, we are dealing with our confinement at home. Many of us are. And there's a particular, or for some, stress level involved. We're not accustomed being home constantly, and not with our families constantly, or maybe all alone. which is a different situation. So, being at home, we need to address our wording from a non-public space. We need to address it in an intimate level. And this is why I think it's important. I think what we have here is an opportunity to another perspective of personal refinement in our lives. It is stated in the Kabbalistic traditions that the world was created with words. Yehi or, it means let there be light, and that is the creative force. But it didn't stop there. It continued. World as a creation is continuously creating anew. The godly source keeps repeating these words, because if not, then the world as we know it would simply become non-existent and return to the void of nothingness. So where does that leave us? Well, it leaves us with a window of understanding how vital words are, because they're everything when you want to create and recreate. They become your consciousness, and they become sentences. They become little people that repeat what you say when you talk to children. They become words in books that we read and that we debate and talk about, that build societies, that build philosophies, and that build us. So, any words that we need to create will be with the understanding that you create a world alone with your words. So when we sit here today, take the time and think about the words that you choose for yourself as you speak to yourself. Are they kind? Are they encouraging, which leaves you filled with hope and courage? Are they spoken with love, which leaves you filled with a sense of security and cared for? Are they spoken with wisdom, which leaves the soul nourished? Clearly, we can't always be talking words of wisdom. Sometimes we just have to be very real and very practical. But in difficult situations, stressful situations, we have an opportunity to remind ourselves before we speak, the pause before we speak. We have a chance to say to ourselves, speak wisely. If words are divine, if words create everything, what words would you choose as a divine co-creator in this experience that we have and share? What kind of words would you like to build with, to create a new world, a new life? Every moment you have is an opportunity for this. There's no such thing as being too late to your own life experience. The words that you choose, the words that's given to you in your language, see them as building blocks for a different paradigm, for a different experience. Those are some of the words for today. I hope they're inspiring. I want them to be. I've seen words change things. And I believe you have too, but maybe you didn't notice. We use wording in prayers. Many believe in them passionately. We use them in affirmations. Many believe in them passionately. We use them all the time. There's a process in some of the words in books of wisdom that I've studied that's called thought, speak, and action. It's how we are created and how we create. It's an image of that, the wording of that. That before we speak, there's a thought process where inspiration and ideas merge. It's a vital and important process we have in order for ourselves to understand where we're heading and what it is we need and must do. We will speak the words accordingly to those thought processes. And in the moment that we do, we've already created a different situation. It is no longer now in the ideas of the world, your inner world. It is now real. The words were spoken and the action must follow. Don't be alarmed if you feel that you don't have the perfect words or that you don't even know what you'd like to change. It's about subtleties many times. It's about planting a seed within your mind and in your consciousness where you can go and find inspiration for you to state, this I need to look at. This I'd like to explore. I am part of the divine. I am needed in this world. This is why I'm here. I don't know why. Not yet. Maybe I never will. But I have powers. I have powers for my mind and my soul and my being that are given to me by the divine. And your words are a part of it. Whomever you'd like to talk to today, or write a letter, an email, a text message, or write yourself something. Look at your words. See them as building blocks for your reality. See them as opportunities to rise and change something that you hardly even know yourself, but that you feel deeply calling inside you. Something about refinement, or maybe something funny. I have a little girl. She's 5 years old. She speaks 3 languages, and she's now trying to learn another. It's all her own doing. I'm not a hazing mother in that way. I am awfully proud, obviously. She has a particular way of expressing herself. And she will get her languages a bit sort of mixed up, which just sort of adds to her charm. Like she has a whole different language, her own language. And you would have to know all the three languages that she knows in order to understand the quirkinesses and her perceptions and her ideas and the sentences that she sometimes speaks. She's very sensitive and very intelligent. But she's also a little girl, and she still needs to be guided the right way and disciplined at times when things aren't quite right. So now that we are home, and she's bored senseless, and she misses her friends terribly, it's difficult for her. And we, her parents, are busy. We still need to take care of life and things, all those important things. Sometimes we get snappy with her, and it hits her hard. She will walk into her room and she will close the door quietly. I give her, usually. No, it doesn't happen often, but it has happened. And I'll give her a few minutes or seconds just sort of to breathe or sit by herself. And I'll walk into her and I'll ask her, are you okay? And she will tell me she is not. And she will say, my heart hurts when you talk in that way. And I understand, because so does mine. And I tell her, and we kiss, and everything is good. And it wasn't really what I said to her. It was the way I spoke. Snappy, a bit stressed out, a bit sort of careless. As if she didn't matter. But she does. In fact, she's probably the most important person there is in my life. So here, in the private sphere of our home, where nobody can see what we are doing, I become more and more alert to these little things around me and how we really do need to rise with an opportunity that is given us for refinement. I speak more to me than anybody at this moment. I understand that some here in this world don't have a family in their home that they're spending their time with. They might be on their own. I fear that the wording that they might speak to with themselves maybe be quite as harsh or indifferent. Maybe they're lonesome. It's difficult to be on your own when you can't connect. So be wise how you speak to yourself. Be wise about how you speak to others. You've been given the power of change. The world keeps changing constantly. It's never at a standstill, even though it might look so right now. It's calling you. It's calling you to return to the source and shine with it. Use your words as a tool to get there. To get there, that place where you know you belong. where you have a right to be and where you serve a purpose. I hope you find these words kind. Maybe you find them inspiring even. But those are my words for today. And I won't leave you all behind. We'll see you soon. I'll be here again on Sunday, where we will talk about many more mystical things. And I can't wait. So take care and build your new world with your words. Know that you're cared for and know that you belong. Thank you.